Hello, and welcome to Sky Career Talks, where we display why it's great to learn with us and communicate. I'm your host, David James. Today, I'm super excited to be speaking with Yurrie Rowe. Yurrie is a production coordinator for Gravity Media working at Facebook/Meta. During Yurie's time at Rutgers University, she was a journalism and media studies major and a student under Professor Stephen Miller. Through him, she credits she was able to land her first internship and where her career began in media production, working for corporations and brands such as NBC Universal, Condé Nast, and Viacom. We're so happy to be in conversation with you today, Yuri. To kick us off, give us a brief overview of your career journey.
My journey's been kind of interesting. I guess my first job was my internship at NBC Universal, and I guess that's where everything kicked off. I was there for probably a year, and then I graduated, and then I guess my first big girl job after school was at Condé Nast. I was working for the video team, and I was an assistant slash, I guess, an associate. So I was supporting three VPs. And then what I would do is kind of, administrative duties. And then on the other hand, I would help production services. So whether it's being on set, helping with lighting, taking notes down, or just sitting in on meetings. And then my job there kind of ended during the pandemic. And then I kind of jumped around I went back to NBC Universal, and then I moved to Viacom for a couple of weeks for a temporary assignment. And then I am now at Meta. So yeah,
Oh, perfect. And juggling all those different hats, it definitely gives you a perspective, in terms of production as well as being in a production environment. So what would you say a normal day would look like for you? Or
currently at my job.
yeah, or just across the board.
I'll speak for my current position. So I'm a production coordinator at Meta slash Facebook. I am a contingent worker and I work for the MVP team, which stands for Meta Video Production. And my day to day, it depends, sometimes we're very busy. So I'll be in the studio every single day. What my day would look like in the studio is I'd kind of go in, I'd make sure that the green room is looking neat, spotless, that the talent has water, snacks, whatever they need. And then I'd make sure our team would come in kind of, I would say an hour or two early to kind of set up. I would do anything from working the teleprompter to helping set up the studio, or, if it's kind of prepping the talent for questions. My day to day kind of looks different depending on what kind of shoots we're doing. So, yeah, a little bit of that.
And it sort of deviates itself from a traditional 9 to 5, right? Because some days you could be working long hours depending on the shoots or the project.
Absolutely. I don't think I've ever had a regular 9 to 5 job working in production. For example, when I was working at NBC Universal, I was supporting SNL for a little bit, and their rehearsal times go as early as 7 a.m., which means that I have to be in at 6 a.m., or they go as late as 10 p.m., which means I have to stay, clean up, do like ending meetings and like notes and all that. So I leave an extra hour later. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Even my job now, I go in at all odd hours and I kind of leave, whenever we're wrapped up.
Well, that's interesting. So in utilizing all of that, what type of skills would you say current students or perhaps alumni who want to pivot and enter this field would need?
I think just being flexible and being a team player, I think having a good attitude and just kind of saying yes and being available is very useful to have. And in this space, especially in media, there's a lot of difficult personalities. So you always want to make sure you can't please everybody, but you always want to make sure that you're, being friendly, being professional, always kind of down to stay later, being an extra hand, just kind of stepping in wherever anybody needs help. I think that'd be all very great skills or assets to kind of go into, or, to have to going into this field.
I'm also curious, how does one get into this field? Would you say networking is a big, or expanding your network is a big part of it, or utilizing social media, or perhaps certification portfolios, or having a website?
I definitely think there's a bit of luck that plays into it, but definitely networking. My first internship at NBC Universal, Mr. Miller actually was able to kind of help me get the position because he knew somebody there. Again, it's part of networking. He knew somebody there who got in contact with me, and then I was able to kind of start my career from there. It's all about who you know. I strongly suggest that, students would reach out, network as much as possible before they graduate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we're hearing more and more your reports, networking and really expanding your presence, whether it's LinkedIn or social media, having the professional presence and putting it on your resume is such an integral part of people, landing their dream positions. Is there a favorite part of the job or something that motivates, inspires you, drives you?
My job is very fun. Like I said, I don't work a traditional 9 to 5 job. I don't sit behind a cubicle a day. Most of the time, I'm actually out on a shoot or I'm, running around, kind of, stepping in. I could be outside, I could be indoors, I could be at a different studio or a different location. So it's very fun. I think what keeps it exciting is because every shoot or a recording is different. So you're working with different people, different teams, different companies, different partners. So it keeps things exciting. And that's not for everybody, but I think it's what I like and I enjoy it.
And no 2 days are the same, right? It's always constantly changing, even hour to hour.
Correct. No 2 days are the same because if I have a shoot today, it's not going to be the same as tomorrow. Again, it's with different people, different parts of the company. So yeah.
And are there traveling components to your job as well sometimes?
Sometimes, yes. This job is fairly new. I got this position in March, so I haven't done much traveling, but I know that my team's traveled to the West Coast, they've traveled overseas before. So yeah, there's a little bit of traveling that comes with it.
Um, so to end, are there any lasting words of wisdom that you would either tell students or alumni, or perhaps your younger self that you wish someone had told you?
Ooh, what a loaded question. Yeah, I would just say, keep trying, be consistent, be persistent, talk to as many people as you can. I know that's so, what's the word? I know everybody says the same thing, it's all about networking, but I truly believe that it is all about networking. It is all about, just being consistent. Um, you probably won't get the first job you apply to, but don't quit. It's going to come. Like you'll land it. So just, keep trying. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Yuri. It's been wonderful speaking with you and just learning your insights and your perspectives and, your pathway and learning more about your career journey and sharing with us current students and alumni. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us for Sky Career Talks, and be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow our LinkedIn group page, Sky Career Corners, to connect with our brilliant students and alumni. Until next time, I'm David James. Take care.